The 90-day streets right now are running wild. We got so much to cover in this video, so please get your cup of teas or get your coffees, whatever beverage that you like. Sit back, relax, because it's about to be a roller coaster. And we're going to start off this one with Veronica and Tim. This is something that I wasn't even looking for, but it just stumbled across my socials. Now, as you can see here, there was a question that has been asked regarding Veronica and Tim's attendance to her wedding. Veronica has come out to respond by saying, "Not true. My dad was at my wedding. Tim didn't attend because it wouldn't have been appropriate, and that was completely understood by everyone. He spent the weekend at my dad's house in Florida. Pretty much a free vacation because he was house sitting. So all is good." But she also does let us know that we will always be co-parents and friends, but I have a new best friend now, my husband. You know, I like this. This is something that is telling me that in this type of situation, Veronica is definitely showing herself to be reality ready rather than moving mad. But I'm also going to translate what she's basically saying here. What she's really saying here is because Tim has a good relationship with my child, the same child that he helped me raise. Okay, because we know that Tim is a stepfather. Because he has that relationship, as long as my daughter wants Tim in her life, Tim will always be a part of our lives in that format. But regarding me and Tim being best friends, me and Tim being friends the way it was before, that has come to a complete end because I now have a new man in my life that is now my best friend. And of course, I've only got room for one of these two, not both. And to be fair, I respect it. She's making the right choice for her relationship, making the right choice for her future, because this is what she sees is something that will bring the stability that she wants and desires from her relationship by pushing Tim to the side rather than having him involved. And let's be real, when it comes to Tim and Veronica's relationship, it's not a typical, boy-girl type friendship. It's one of those ones where Tim was always getting too heavily involved in her relationship, which is something that just wasn't really a cool thing to really have. So I can understand why they are where they are. So yes, one thing that I can say is that Veronica has definitely chosen the right thing in this moment in time. But hey, let me know your thoughts. Do you think her choices are coming from a place of being reality ready, or do you think they're coming from a different place? Please do let me know. But now we're going to move on to the next one. The next one itself in particular, this one is all about Cortney. Cortney has a lot to say about Debbie being Colt's mother. And this is something that happened on Between the Sheets.
I don't know if I should be mad at Colt or if I should be mad at Debbie, because clearly, you lie, cheat, you hurt somebody, and say, "Oh, let me go get them back for you so you can do it for more."
That's just women think it's okay for her son to treat another woman like that. That's not okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is not okay in any shape or form. You would expect better. Because, well, you're a woman, right? And Debbie also explained the fact that she's a woman that's also experienced infidelity in the past. So she knows how that made her feel. So co-signing her son to do this is ridiculous. And then also on top of that, trying to then go and convince the woman that your son has done this too is just bizarre behavior. But is it surprising though? Is it surprising that Debbie chose the moving mad way of life? No. Why? Well, because we've seen her throughout the years. When Larissa was there, we've seen her when Jasmine or Jessica was there. I obviously forget her name. We've seen her when Vanessa was there. We've seen the way she will always cuddle her son all the time, no matter what he does, no matter how wrong he is. She will always protect him. She will always be on his side, which has always been the downside of their relationship, because she has never shown him tough love. She's never shown him how he should be responsible and accountable for his actions, which is why Colt will never be in the mindset of being reality ready, because his mother isn't reality ready neither. All she's ever displayed is the trait of somebody that likes to just move mad, which is so unfortunate. So I'm not surprised that Debbie has behaved this way. I mean, to be honest with you as well, if you have seen the film or read the book of The Housemaid, you will know that in that one itself in particular, the mother was also somebody that literally co-signed her son's behavior that was completely ridiculous and sadistic type behavior too. So it is a thing, unfortunate. So my point here is that women, ladies, maybe even men out there that do also date men, whoever you are, whoever you are and you date men, understand this. The man that you date, if he is a mother's boy, and he's doing some effed up stuff that that are moving mad flags, they're not reality ready flags, pay attention and run away. Because if you stick around for those flags to get worse, understand that his mother is never going to hold him accountable. Okay? This is the thing, unfortunately. But now this is where things get a little bit interesting, you see, because Usman then has something to add.
She called me the night she kicked Colt out. She did call me. I mean, by the time she's coming to Africa, I was like, no, I still like you. In fact, I still love you. I want you anymore. If she come back, I'm not interested. Not because I didn't love her, but because I cannot be second option.
I respect the fact that he does not want to be second option to Colt. Absolutely respect that. And it's not because it's necessarily Colt, it's because of the context. The context is that when it came to Cortney deciding to be with Colt, she picked Colt over Usman. It doesn't matter who the man was, it's the fact that you already picked that person before me. So I now know that I'm definitely your second option. I'm your rebound. So you want me to just have my arms open to bring you back in? Do I look like that I'm not reality ready? Do I look like I'm somebody that just simply wants to move mad by allowing you to be back in my life as if like you didn't hurt me? You didn't hurt my feelings? Are you crazy? So I understand his reaction. He's fully entitled for this reaction. But Usman has this thing where he can say things that are good points. But then he has the thing when the things that he says with it, then you're thinking, why do you have to go to this level? Let's dive in.
Second option to somebody who is good looking, smart, like more. But how can I be second option to somebody who is jobless? And after you run with this guy, and then you expect me to be with you? Like, I'm a big dog over here, darling. Like, I'm not cheap.
You see, this is why this man is single. This is why women aren't flocking at him the way he claims to be. I'm a big dog, darling. What? I mean, I didn't realize that's supposed to make you be attractive. I didn't realize that was supposed to make women to want you. That image is ridiculous. But like I said before, it doesn't matter that it was Colt. It doesn't matter what guy it was. The fact that she picked another guy who you knew over you is enough to say I'm good. Simple as that. But he always has to go down this route of insulting people. I don't know what he thinks he's gaining, but this is what really exposes him as a person and exposes why he's a single person. Exposes why, on record, we've never seen him have a long-term relationship. In fact, the only relationship we've seen him actually have is literally the one he had with Kimberly. But hey, he's a big dog, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a big dog over here. Yeah, you keep doing that. You keep doing it, and then, we'll see how far that gets you in life. But either way, it really shows that Usman is somebody that can say things that are reality ready, but then also say things that just put him in this place of just being simply moving mad, which is so sad and so pathetic. But with that being said, though, we're now going to move on to the next part of what's happening here. And this one is all about Rob. Rob has something interesting to say regarding Sophie. The question is, do you guys agree? Let's get into it. And also, if you're still here, which I know you are because I'm amazing, clearly, because I'm a big dog here, clearly, yep. Please make sure you're hyping the video, subscribing, and liking. Thank you so much for your time. Let's continue.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would say that her and I might have had a better chance at working out if it wasn't for the people that she let in our relationship. She needs an emotional.
Now, the point that he's making is regarding the fact that Sophie on the show, she does obviously say to Pedro, when she meets him, she says to Pedro, hey, if your family always going to be involved, you're probably never going to have a good relationship with anyone because your family's involvement is not it. Which was obviously very hypocritical for Sophie to say, because when it came to her relationship with Rob, her mum got involved, her friend got involved, her ex even got involved, you know what I mean? Because Sophie allowed these people to get involved, amongst also the last resort as well when everyone else got involved. So Rob is making a very good point here regarding Sophie. She's saying one thing when it comes to her and Pedro, but when she was with Rob, she was behaving exactly the same way. So she has got a very fair. He's got a very, very strong point there. This is Rob showing himself to be reality ready. Hey, can you imagine?
Connection to want to have sex with somebody. Well, we had sex more after our marriage than we had sex our entire marriage.
Again, makes a very good point because Sophie's out here talking about how, with Pedro, she wants to wait for a connection before they can have intimacy, which, listen, I think that's an amazing thing. There is no point in having intimacy with somebody if there is not a form of a connection. Otherwise, when you have intimacy with that person, it's just sport. It's just a little bit of fun, which again, isn't a bad thing. If you like to have intimacy for a little bit of fun, a little bit of sport, and there's no one's going to get hurt from it, then listen, you do you because you're both on the same page. But of course, Sophie's saying in this situation, she wants to be able to have intimacy with somebody that she's connected with. But to be fair, going back to what Rob said, though, to be fair, it's not as reality ready as I imagined, actually, because he does say that me and Sophie had more intimacy after the marriage rather than in the marriage. That does make sense, because you see, when people come from a very toxic relationship, generally speaking, when they are together, sometimes intimacy can go downhill. But once they know their relationship is actually coming to an end, sexual activities can actually become more a thing, because the sexual activities is like the last ditch attempt to see if you can make things work again. And that's why people can be prone to having more intimacy with somebody that they were once with when they don't have them, rather than when they were with them, purely because they're hoping that maybe the sexual chemistry is going to bring back that emotional connection, and it's going to then somehow fix all that emotional stuff that was a complete calamity when they were together. And honestly, it never works. People shouldn't do that. You know, if a relationship does not work with someone, sleeping with them continuously after that is not doing you any favors in any shape or form. Now, don't get me wrong, context is key. There are times when maybe you can both go away, not see each other for a few months to a few years or whatever, and then you may reconnect out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you end up in the same bed together, and then you're like, whoa, this feels a bit different than before. Whoa, maybe there's a future here. That's different. But when you've just broken up and you're still sleeping together, it's not going to fix the goddamn thing. You're just hoping it will, but it won't. Okay? Well, 9.9 times out of 10, it's not going to help. So bear that in mind. But that is entirely up to you folks to do what you will with that information. So yeah, Rob wasn't exactly reality ready with that little statement itself in particular, because he doesn't understand why him and Sophie will have intimacy then. And also very key thing, some people will still want to have intimacy with you when you break up, because it's still a form of control. So Sophie, if anything, was most likely wanting to still sleep with Rob purely to stop him and prevent him from doing what? From mingling with other women. And in the same breath, Rob would have also been sleeping with Sophie for the same reasons as well, without even recognizing it. And that is, or maybe even recognize it with the hopes that sleeping with her is going to stop her from finding someone else too. So there is also the element of control behind sleeping with someone who you've just broken up with as well. So there is that part. All of it is pretty much in a nutshell moving mad, aka toxic. So bear that in mind. So yeah, fix yourself in that one, Robbie boy. But now we're going to continue though, because when it comes to Pedro's family, well, they've got some very harsh things to say regarding Sophie.
Que se ve que ella está como fingiendo.
No, y aquí ella está ahora realmente como manipulando la situación.
El problema es Pedro. Él tiene para mujeres que llamen la atención. Y yo estoy
Interesting to say that they believe that Pedro likes women that, cry for attention. I mean, if that is true, well, then that is quite sad, because, boy, why would you want women that cry for attention? That's not a healthy situation for you, is it now? But hey, I guess they know their brother and son better than we do. But let's continue, because now they say something freaking crazy.
hizo un hechizo. Le hizo brujería. Yo estoy segura que la Sophie cogió unos panties de ella, lo puso a hervir y le dio el agua a Pedro.
No, porque tú sabes que él fue a la...
Now they believe that Sophie has done some sort of witchcraft against Pedro. No, I don't. That is just funny stuff. I mean, to be fair, I like to hope they were just making a joke there, because in reality, you don't have to do no witchcraft on Pedro to get him behaving the way he's behaving. Pedro is the way he is because he's just immature. It's just that simple. You know, it's evident. It's something that I've noticed within the conversation that he has when I'm watching Between the Sheets, as well as also being in the show. And the good thing about Between the Sheets is that Between the Sheets isn't something that, or same as Pillow Talk. It's not something that cast members can say, oh, you know, they edited it this way, or nah, there's no excuses, because it's generally them being real, raw, and authentic. So listening to the way he talks on that as well explains a lot about the way he is also on the show. Yeah, I'll just leave that one there. But now we're going to move on to the next one itself in particular, and this is where Jamal comes out to pretty much expose his own mother. Because you see, I've had in the previous video regarding the single life, I said that I do not believe in any shape or form that Kimberly feels bad about giving up her children for adoption, because you see, she tries to portray as if she couldn't forgive herself if something bad happened to her daughter. The same daughter that, she didn't care to even look for, and the same daughter that she prevented Jamal from actually even looking for as well. And then now we're on Between the Sheets, and what Kimberly seems to say here, no, so what Jamal seems to say here pretty much backs up what I said. Let's get into it.
I feel like when my mom wanted to start looking for my sister immediately, I was a little caught off guard, because I wanted to look for her years ago.
He wanted to look for her years ago, exactly, and she didn't want to. But now all of a sudden, because Larry's in the picture, now the energy is different.
To rip the Band-Aid off and let's just get it all done. Let's just be over it. And this is something we're gonna have to be patient with.
You see, Jamal understands. He understands it's something that's definitely going to need a lot of patience with. You know what I mean? There is no rush in the process, you know? And honestly, I feel like this season has really been a massive redemption season for Jamal personally, you know, especially when it comes to this whole storyline here with the adoption, okay? But hey, either way though, he said it himself there. Mum wasn't interested in the past about trying to connect with my sister. And she definitely was interested in telling me they had a brother. But now, she's hella interested? Okay, sure. So he's not even convinced himself. And who knows, and Jamal definitely knows his mother better than any one of us. So when he says something, oh yeah, the assumptions that I have become absolute facts.
So I contacted the adoption agency. I got a response back from a lifelong post-adoption counselor. But she said that they've matched hundreds and hundreds of families together. Said, don't give up hope. If she sends it back and it's a rejection, we will let you know. Give up on her. And I was like, I never have given up on her.
What? You've never given up on her? Your son literally just said he wanted to look for your sister a long time ago and you said no. Then in the same breath, he literally said, because Larry has come into the picture that I had no idea even existed, now you want to rip the Band-Aid off out of nowhere? The fact that, and I said this before, the issue with Kimberly is she makes this whole thing about herself. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say to you guys that she gave up on Larry and the daughter the moment that she gave him for adoption, because that isn't necessarily true, because sometimes people make those choices. But she definitely did give up at some way down the line, because again, Jamal found out about his sister when he was a young boy, and she said nah. And I'm pretty sure he's tried to bring up that conversation several times since then, and she has says no. She has blocked the whole situation only for Larry to appear. This is somebody that isn't motivated on reunion due to love or anything positive. This is somebody that is just doing it as a redemption story just to make themselves feel better about themselves. Look at it this way, folks. Some people come from family households where your family's always there for you whenever you're going through a very bad time. But for some reason, when you're going through a great time, they're never really there to praise you. Don't you find that interesting? You see? Because you see, some people love the idea of being somebody's savior because it makes them feel good about themselves, but don't necessarily have the same energy when it comes to being there and being someone's cheerleader when somebody's doing well. And that's something that I've noticed across a lot of families, okay? And also a lot of friendships. Bear that in mind. Kimberly's one of those that she'll be there when times are tough, but when you're winning, who knows? But I will say though, when it comes to a relationship with Jamal, maybe she's probably there for him in both aspects, you know, when he's winning as well as also when he's losing. But when it came to the other kids, yeah. But also at the same time, the one thing that I would notice though, when Jamal is doing something good though, Kimberly doesn't come out to be a cheerleader for him. She comes and says, oh, look at my son, he's doing so well. So what she does is she will take his accomplishments and make it seem as if he's doing these great things because of her. Whether it's him being on the show, whether it's him being a part of the 90 Day Bad Boys, whether it's him maybe being in a relationship with somebody, she'll be like, oh, look at my son Jamal. He's doing so well. Again, the translation of what she's doing is taking credit for his accomplishments rather than being like, yeah, I saw my son doing 90 Day stuff. I'm so great for him. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's doing his own thing with the boys. They're doing the lip syncing, you know, but honestly, what they're doing is great. I'm so happy that he's a part of a friends group of, you know, people that are done. So it's like, if she worded it in a way like that was saying that I'm proud of him and what he's doing, great. But she's like, oh yes, my son, yes, you know, Jamal, the one I gave birth to, yes, you see what I'm saying? She takes credit from what he's doing rather than praising it. Watch the space, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention to the details. But hey, all I'm saying is that it's good to know that Jamal is reality ready when it comes to him reuniting with his siblings. But when it comes to Kimberly, at this moment in time, I'm going to label her as simply moving mad. But maybe you guys have a complete different perspective. So please do let me know in the comment section. But with that being said, though, we're now going to move on to the next one. And this one here is Vanja, a person that loves to just expose herself.
I talked to him about it later. I said, no problem. If that's what you want to do, I'm going to be able to do the same thing. And don't you worry, by the end of the night, I'm going to go home with 10 phone numbers.
So her resolution to Tony going out for a drink after their date, even though he said he went out for a drink because he just wanted a drink, didn't talk to no one, didn't take no one back, none of that stuff. She's saying her response to him was, well, okay, well, because you didn't tell me you did it and because you didn't invite me, then that's okay. Next time I will go out without telling you, without inviting you, and I'll make sure that I go out of my way to get as many numbers as possible. So what point is she proving here then? Let's just say Tony is a player. Let's just say he's one of those people. He goes out on a date, then he goes and finds more women, Does two wrongs make a right? Does she not understand how pathetic and how stupid that she sounds? A woman of your age, what are you doing with yourself? Grow the F up. Accountability is just not her friend. Pettiness is. Stupidity is. Because Vanja always chooses to be moving mad rather than to be reality ready with her stupidity actions. The people that literally co-sign for this woman and say that, oh, Vanja's this, then that, I'm taken away. I am absolutely taken away. One thing that I do want to know, though, is this is so random. Is it Vanja or is it Anya? Because I know some people have silent letters in their names. I do want to know that, to be fair. But her name is always pronounced Vanja, isn't it? With a V. It's not silent, is it? Anyway. But let's continue.
I was secretly hoping that Tony would sneak into my bedroom and have a discussion with me afterwards. Be like,
you told Tony that he's sleeping in this room and you're sleeping in that room. Why would he want to then go sneak into your room if he's going to respect your wishes? And the thing that's quite interesting is that she's somebody who's such a poor judge of character. So far, everything that we've learned about Tony and his relationship with Vanja is that he has been respectful. Okay? When he was dating another woman, Vanja was simply just a friend that he made no advances with. He finally became single, still made no advances with her. She then made advances with him. So it's clear to me that this man has a pattern of where he knows how to respect somebody's space. Yes, he was frustrated that he was ambushed by Vanja's cousin due to Vanja's flipping behavior. But he was still going to be in a mindset of like, you know what? I don't want to make things worse for myself here. So I'm going to respect her wishes. And now she's saying, oh, I secretly wish that he came in. the guy can do no wrong. If he respects her wishes, oh, I wish he came.
babe, let's just forget about this and let's just look forward. But he didn't. It was just awkward in Tony's room.
Of course he didn't. Because why would he?
Awkward in my room, awkward in her husband's room.
And all of this awkwardness was down to yourself. Down to yourself. I honestly truly believe that this woman does not understand herself. But hey, do you believe Vanja will ever be reality ready to recognize that she is her own problem? Or do you believe that she will forever always be moving mad? Let me know your thoughts. But yes, very interesting things happening on the 90-day streets this week. And of course, there'll be more to come throughout the week as well. So please do make sure you subscribe so you can be here for that. Notifications on so you know about it. Hype the video because, well, why wouldn't you? And also like the video and get commenting down below. Thank you so much. Have a good day.